Today I'm going to build the circuit from class in mutualism. First I'm going to grab a DC voltage supply, and it's already set to 5 volts, which is convenient, and then I'm going to grab 5 resistors. And I have to rotate them all because the schematic won't work if the resistors are not rotated. And then you'll need a ground. So first you're going to take the resistors and you're just going to move them in a neat line. You got to set their values. This one was 470. This one was 680. I have to go a smaller one. This one was 2.2. This one was 1. This one was also 100 or a kilo ohm. I'm going to connect them like this. Got to be in line to make the circuit work. And almost done. Take a voltage. Should all be the same for voltage, and I'm going to take a current. I'm going to click run. All right, so these are our values we're working with. So now there should be some simple math to build an equivalent circuit. First, I'm going to lay that out real quick. To solve for the Thevenin equivalent, oh. I kept the math for the solution in the lab report. It should be right here. So basically what you do is you divide the voltage by your amperage, and then you get this big number here, which is your total ohms you'll need in the circuit. And then you take your voltage and divide it by 5, which is the input voltage, and you get 3.967. And then from those numbers, you'll subtract 0.3967 from 1 and get this. And then you'll multiply it by your ohms. And this gives you the total sums, but the difference they need to be to give you the equivalent circuit. So now I'm going to build that in mutualism really quick. .95 and then 8. Oh, 8.9, so it's really like 0.9, and then 1288, 0.2, and then you click run, and you should get about the same voltage and amperage. That's weird. Why is it doing that? Huh. You've made a slight miscalculation. No. That's odd. Let me reload this circuit. That's annoying. Oh, I had the voltages backward, that's why. I saved that circuit just in case. To determine the order, the larger number will go first. That was, oops. All right, now I'm going to show it real quick in mutualism, or in waveforms real quick. So I have the circuit already hooked up, and this application likes to hide the mouse. Turn on 1 volt, we're going to turn on the supply. I'm going to click run. I don't have the equivalent resistors, but I do have the setup correctly. This is how you'd set it up, and this would be, now it's upside down. There you go. So that's the top right corner, the 1K ohm and the 470 ohms on the left. These are actually all 470 ohm resistors, so I guess the top left is actually correct, but the rest are all wrong. But this is how you'd want to wire it up to get your voltage and amperage, and this is how you take the measurements in waveforms. So see on the breadboard, they're all both in 1 pin. And here's the scope. And you can see it's running at negative, well, it's in the negative, but it's really 470 milliohms. And that's all.